Chipotle is going bankrupt? Wait, what? The place where you get your double meat and extra guac is shutting down?
Hold on. Let's hit pause on the panic for a second. Because while social media is in full meltdown mode, in reality, it's a whole different story. But is Chipotle really on the brink of disaster? Or is this just another case of the internet doing what it does best, overreacting? Let's break it down.
You are welcome to Dollars in the Door. Here, you will get insightful information about building a very successful lifestyle and balanced life all round. Remember to click the subscribe button and ring that bell for more updates before you proceed.
The birth of the rumor.
It all started with a single article from a Spanish media outlet, Unión Rayo. Now, this article wasn't even about Chipotle shutting down. Instead, it was reporting on Farmisa Fresh Eatery, a small experimental spin-off brand that Chipotle launched in 2023. Farmisa was meant to test the waters in the healthy bowl market, offering protein-based bowls with fresh ingredients, but it never gained much traction. After struggling to attract customers, Chipotle quietly decided to pull the plug.
Now here's where things went south, fast. The article about Farmisa's closure featured a big, bold Chipotle logo at the top of the page. The headline wasn't super clear, and before anyone could stop it, people started making assumptions.
To some readers, it looked like Chipotle itself was shutting down. Then came the perfect storm.
How social media fueled the panic.
The misleading connection spread like wildfire across Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram, where users quickly assumed Chipotle itself was in trouble. Influencers and clickbait-style headlines exaggerated the situation, making it seem like the entire chain was going under overnight.
Viral posts included, "Chipotle is filing for bankruptcy, the end of an era." "No more Chipotle? Guess it's time to start meal prepping." Clickbait articles fueled the fire. Certain media outlets, desperate for engagement, ran with misleading headlines like, "Chipotle is shutting down locations nationwide." Some even twisted quotes from industry analysts to make it sound worse than it was. The telephone effect took over. A few viral tweets and YouTube videos later, and suddenly, people were convinced their favorite burrito spot was filing for bankruptcy. Comments like, "I can't believe it, Chipotle is done for," started trending.
And boom! Just like that, the internet ran with it. People rushed to stock up on burritos, like it was the Last Supper, even though, spoiler alert, Chipotle was doing just fine. But the truth? It wasn't even remotely close to bankruptcy. This is the perfect example of how misinformation spreads when people don't check the full story. But let's look at the facts.
Chipotle's real financial status. Chipotle isn't going anywhere. In fact, it's doing better than ever.
Despite the online rumors, the numbers tell a completely different story. The company's financial health is rock solid. And rather than scaling back, it's actually pushing forward with aggressive expansion plans. In the fourth quarter of the year 2024, Chipotle pulled in a staggering $2.8 billion in total revenue, marking a 13.1% increase from the previous year. That's not the performance of a struggling business. It's the sign of a company on the rise. And when it comes to profit, the company reported $1.23 billion in net income for 2024, proving that customers are still flocking to Chipotle, despite rising food prices and economic uncertainty. Even more impressive, Chipotle's same-store sales grew by 5.4%, showing that existing locations continue to pull in more customers. That's a crucial metric for restaurants, because if people were losing interest, this number would be dropping, not rising.
Chipotle has zero debt. That's right, zero.
Unlike many companies that rely on heavy borrowing, Chipotle operates with a clean balance sheet, and has $750 million in cash reserves sitting in the bank. That's enough money to keep operations running smoothly for a long time, even in an economic downturn. And instead of shutting down stores, Chipotle is expanding aggressively. In 2024 alone, the company opened 119 new locations, a sign of confidence in its future. But they're not stopping there. In 2025, they plan to open between 315 and 345 more restaurants. One of the biggest drivers of this expansion? Chipotlanes, the company's high-efficiency drive-through system. 80% of all new locations will feature these lanes, making it easier than ever for customers to grab their orders without stepping inside. It's a game changer, boosting sales while cutting down on long wait times. So, while the internet may have been screaming about bankruptcy, the reality is the exact opposite. Chipotle isn't just stable, it's dominating the fast casual dining industry and outpacing competitors.
The next day on Wall Street,
Wall Street's take on Chipotle.
If Chipotle were actually in trouble, Wall Street would be sounding the alarm. But that's not what's happening. In fact, the opposite is true. Instead of downgrading the stock, analysts are doubling down on their confidence in Chipotle's future. Take Morgan Stanley, for example. They recently upgraded their rating on Chipotle, calling it an excellent tech play.
Why?
Because Chipotle isn't just a burrito chain, it's a digital powerhouse. With nearly 40% of its total revenue coming from online and app orders, Chipotle has mastered the digital food economy, making ordering more efficient while increasing customer convenience. When it comes to stock performance, Chipotle remains one of the strongest players in the restaurant industry. While other fast casual brands have struggled with inflation and shifting consumer habits, Chipotle's stock has remained resilient, proving that investors see long-term value in the brand. Speaking of investor confidence, Chipotle is actively buying back its own shares. That's a huge indicator of financial health, because it means the company believes its stock is undervalued and expects even more growth ahead. Companies in distress don't buy back shares, they sell them to stay afloat. But here's where Chipotle is really pulling ahead: technology and innovation. The company is integrating AI-powered kitchen optimizations to improve speed, efficiency, and cost savings. From predictive ordering systems to automated food prep processes, Chipotle is setting itself up for the future. And with digital sales now accounting for 39% of total revenue, the company has a major competitive edge in the fast casual market.
Bottom line?
This isn't a company that's struggling. It's a company scaling its dominance.
We want Chipotle.
To say what had happened.
You're in, CEO.
What Chipotle's CEO had to say.
Let's hear it straight from the top. When rumors start flying, the best way to separate fact from fiction is to go straight to the source. And in this case, the source couldn't be clearer. Chipotle's chief operating officer, Scott Boatwright, didn't just address the speculation. He shut it down completely.
We had another outstanding year. Strong sales, more locations, more momentum. Chipotle is thriving.
No hesitation, no uncertainty.
Just facts.
Yes. He wasn't vague. He wasn't defensive. Instead, he made it clear that Chipotle is stronger than ever, not just surviving, but growing. And if that wasn't enough, he tackled the bankruptcy rumors head on. We're excited about our growth and the future of our brand. There is absolutely no truth to these bankruptcy claims. Not some truth, not partial truth, no truth at all. Still worried? Look at the numbers, look at the expansion, look at the investor confidence. So relax. Your burrito bowl isn't going anywhere.
So, should you be worried about Chipotle closing its doors? Nope. Should you keep enjoying your burrito bowl in peace? Absolutely. And if anything, maybe order extra guac just to celebrate.
Don't believe the hype. Believe the numbers.
You can also subscribe to our newsletter on our website at dollarsinthedoor.com to get more updates from us, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, X, and Blue Sky at Dollars in the Door.